Top of the morning, you crazy cats. It's Sid Fernandez, president of NAHREP Naples. And thank you guys for being here. This is episode 3 of our new Mastermind Series that we started in 2021. We know, guys, virtual is just becoming over the top. We're sick of it. We're tired of it. But at the end of the day, it's become a part of our lives. It's something that we have to embrace. We have to embrace it in a way where the value gets to shine. And that's kind of the wonder or the want that we have for you guys. It's to bring you guys the knowledge that you're not hearing on an everyday basis. It's something that you guys need to hear. Maybe not what you want to hear right now, but it's what you need to hear to be better at your business and be better community members. And what we're thankful to have and humbled by the people that we've had on, the professionals that we've had on, the leaders that we've had on, that we're going to continue to have on. And we're looking forward to sharing it with you. All right, guys, today is a very special day for us. We get to bring on a young lady right here in Southwest Florida. She is someone that's very recognizable, someone who brings a different type of leadership, someone who you should aspire to be, someone who has brought unity in the organization in which she leads right now. And we are proud to bring her on as a guest of the show, Miss Corey McCloskey. Oh, didn't change the background. You see, this is how we mess these things up. It's okay. You made it. What's up, Corey? How are you?
I am wonderful. Oh my gosh, I just started blushing. Look at this. I don't even need blush for all that nice stuff you just said about me.
Don't worry. Did you get the invoice? Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
That's sideways. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But Corey, listen, it's great to have you on. We started a relationship, or we created a relationship back in 2019 between both organizations. And, like we mentioned before, there seemed to have been a disconnect between both, but this new progressive mentality and the fresh blood, I think, that's been brought into NAHREP and to your guys' organization has really jump-started a vision of diversity in this area. And before we get into that unison, we'd like to get to know Corey a little bit better. So tell us a little about you. Tell us a little bit about before you got into real estate.
Ooh.
So tell us a little about that.
All right. Well, so I'm Corey. I am a Naples native. So I think, and back when I was in school, there were only 3 high schools. That gives you a little bit about my age. Yeah, I know. Exactly. I feel the same way. But growing up here was awesome. Like every other kid, we had the mall or the beach to do. I mean, that was pretty much it. And so I spent most of my time going through these. Have you seen one of these?
That looks like a Yellow Pages. I know what the use for Yellow Pages really is, but growing up in a Latino household, that was really an attitude resetter is what that was.
So when I was a kid, I had about 6 family members in the real estate business. So the majority of my time was hearing about real estate and going through, and I used these as coloring books when I was a kid. So yeah, which was awesome. And I thought to myself, I am not going into real estate, but look at me now. Here I am 18 years later. I thought I wanted to be a nurse. So I dual enrolled in high school and I got my CNA and I graduated at the same time. So I was like, I'm going to be a nurse. And so now I'm in real estate. But, I've loved it. I've been licensed since 2004. I sold for 6 years, which was great. And so now I've kind of changed my path. And now I'm obviously the president of NAHREP, and I'm also vice president of operations for John Wood Properties. So I'm in charge of tech, education, and relocation. So I've got quite the bridge. One of my passions is water quality. So I do a lot of work in that realm. I've actually spoken in Maine at a local board of Realtors association there on the toxic summer that we had here in 2018 and how they can prevent themselves from going through that. So I'm just a wealth of knowledge and a lot of random stuff. So,
I mean, obviously water quality is such a huge topic here. I feel like it's not getting talked about enough right now, but obviously there's much bigger fish to fry. I guess a really bad term when we're talking about toxic water, right? So let's not even go there. So, wow, that was a terrible segue. But it's crazy because that's not actually something we knew about. I know that Bonita Estero Realtors, when I was a part of the leadership group there, we had partnered up and did something to that effect. We were building more natural. We were building traps. If I remember correctly, we were building traps using hockey sticks. If I remember correctly, it was to create the barnacles and stuff like that, which is actually very, very cool. People don't know, but those barnacles actually clean the water a lot better than anybody else can. Yeah. And it was actually quite amazing, the fact that we could come together.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So you said you spent 6 years. You said you spent 6 years as a buying and selling. Where do you say your passion lies in? You said you did the selling, but now you're VP. You're pretty much overseeing a construction of or continuing advancement of the structure of that company.
Mhm.
Which side do you like the most? Do you miss the selling side or buying side?
You know, I don't at all.
Honesty.
Just being real. I don't know. I don't at all. I mean, I loved it and I wouldn't change it for the world. I worked with family members. I worked with friends. It's such a high stress job. And I give props to the agents that are out there every day, you know, slinging deals, writing deals and dealing with the emotions and the highs and lows. And is this going to close? And am I doing a good job? And, you know, I don't miss that. I love what I'm doing now. I love meeting with agents one-on-one, talking about their business. I love thinking strategically as far as the company is concerned and as far as NAHREP is concerned. I mean, this is such an amazing business and it's evolving faster than it ever has before. And to be part of the evolution right now is really exciting to me because I think we have a great opportunity right at our feet.
We do. And listen, as much as we always talk about negativity with what's been going on the last year and a half, there's definitely been a jump start to advancing the way we do business. I mean, you've seen it across the board, a lot more technology-based stuff, and some people may fear it, but at the end of the day, the world is going in that direction. And the fact that we can now do deals technologically while someone's in another country, because it's happened, I think it has made it better. It's made things a little bit more streamlined, not as stressful to get to the table. So that's definitely a cool thing. I'm glad for your honesty. A lot of people don't say that straight up. It's like, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I like anymore. Appreciate it. I've advanced. So now that we've gotten to know you a little bit more, let's talk a little bit about NAHREP. What has been your connection to NAHREP, whether it's been now as a leader or even before you're even in the business? Have you had some history with NAHREP before in the past?
Sure. So I am as I mentioned, I'm a third grade. Let me back up. Third generation real estate professional. So my grandpa was president of NAHREP, president of Florida Realtors, and fun fact, he's the oldest living president of NAR, which is really cool. You know, I mean, it's just really cool to me. I go places, I travel a lot for work, and I go to the Florida Association of Realtors and National, and I wear my little name badge, and people are like, "Oh, it's a recognizable name," so it gives me like this big heart swelling thing, you know. So and my dad was a president, so it's really awesome. Sorry, my son's calling me, asking me if I'm going to bring him soup for lunch. So that's what that was. So my dad, oh my God.
Just give him the damn soup. Just kidding.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. It happens.
I know if he does that again, hold on. I have to text him real quick and say, hold on, please.
This is our commercial break. So welcome. Today's super drawer is. No, just kidding.
So, okay, fun fact. My son got braces yesterday and he's like, he can only do soup. So he's like, where's my soup? Where's my soup? So anywho, so on to the next. So my dad and my grandfather, so I'm third generation. Yeah, said, listen, I got ADD just like the rest of them and I can switch the way it needs to be switched. So, I mean, I am, you're totally laughing at me.
I love it. I just love it because this is the type of stuff that we need more of on these type of interviews, you know?
Oh, well, I warned you. Yeah, so I mean, I've been around real estate my whole life. As far as my path to NAHREP, I started out as NYPN, like many others, like Ryan Bledgy, like Nick Bobzine, like all these people that we started out as young professionals at NAHREP, and that's kind of how we got our taste. Which was wonderful. So it gave me a sense of how to give back to the business that's given myself and my family so much. I kind of moved into, I've always had kind of a tech thing going on. I don't have any professional tech experience, but I just kind of gravitate that way. So I started working on the MLS committee and I started working on all these committees, and I joined leadership development in 2013, which was an awesome experience at NAHREP. I think I'm the only person maybe left from my leadership class, which is maybe good and bad. I don't know, but it's you know, it's been awesome. I've loved it all, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. Is it tough? Yes. I mean, there are 7,000 neighbor members, and it's like you're a volunteer president, and you have to take all the wow, you're doing a great job calls, and you're also taking the why did you do this calls. So, and I'm sure you understand that perspective.
Yeah, the wonderful thing in the mortgage world is exactly that. It's just, oh wow, hey, this is great. Why isn't this done yet? So listen, I completely get it. You brought up actually some really cool points. Obviously, this conversation is talking about resources in our local areas. We obviously focus on the real estate side, but in some cases, it's really to the community as well to be able to provide these resources to clients, to people you come in contact with. And you brought something big. It's a big point that we don't talk about enough, which is these committees. I had a really cool conversation, brand new realtor that moved from California, has a connection to Argentina. And the one thing he asked me is, how can I possibly speed up my ability to network and connect with other professionals? And my first thing was get on a committee. Getting on a committee at your local board of realtors, whoever it is that you've connected with, because at the end of the day, you're getting placed with other leaders, people who have taken the plunge to volunteer. And there's obviously a bigger light shined on those people who do that. And you can speak to it from your position. I mean, when you see committees get together, you get to connect with these small groups in a more intimate setting. Would that be correct?
Absolutely. I mean, as the NAHREP has, I think, potentially 16, 17 standing committees. So, which is pretty awesome. I mean, we have committees from community involvement. We have a water quality task force. We have a forums committee. I mean, you name it. We have a committee, it seems like, almost for everything. And being a fully volunteer organization for the most part. I mean, don't get me wrong. Marty and the staff, they do an amazing job. And we couldn't do what we do on the volunteer side without them. But the volunteers give a lot of time. And you're absolutely right. The best way to make connections and get to know people is to join a committee. But it also depends on the type of market that we're in. And this market that we're in, people are so busy. A lot of people are feeling they just don't have the time, which we totally have to respect. So if you are looking to join something, I mean, we have something for you. We have openings. There are a lot of great organizations out there that people can join.
No, I completely agree. Like for us, all of us are volunteer. I mean, unless you're talking about the corporate side of the organization back over in San Diego, we're full volunteer. For us, we have open positions as committee members to assist current sitting directors in those roles. And the cool thing is, granted, right now it's been a little bit depleted just due to the fact that most of the things that we're doing are virtual. But now that we've opened up the doors for our first in-person event in August, now we're starting to look at those people who we think can bring a lot of value, and those future leaders and future directors can come on, understand what they're doing, understanding what the mission is, so that they better put themselves in position to take these leadership roles like yourself and the rest of the gang there at NAHREP.
Absolutely.
Going into the resources that are provided for Board of Realtors in general, not just NAHREP, but I think a lot of people, we always look at Board of Realtors like, okay, yeah, I have to pay my dues because I have to have this. But I feel like we just don't do a good enough job of explaining exactly the pluses and values that are associated with that aside from dues. Can you go into a little bit of detail of some of those values so people can better understand what's out there for them?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and I think it all comes back to how people learn. As you and I are talking today, people are actually hearing about 84% of what they're saying, and they're probably only going to retain like 16% after a week. So it's, what I mean? It's just one of those things. And, oh my gosh, I do a lot of talking with my hands. This is great. I feel like,
You have to understand that we're Latino, and this is what we do. So you fit right in. You fit right into it. We do this all the time. We don't even know what to do with our hands, so it's all good.
Awesome. Well, we don't do a good enough job, and that's one of the things that was actually one of my goals for this year. We do. It's like email overload, right? I mean, I think every organization is constantly emailing their people, and they're saying, "Well, I sent an email. Well, I sent an email." Well, guess who's overloaded by emails? Every single person who has an email address. I mean, it's just kind of how it is. So we're having to come up with unique ways to really get our value proposition across. And something that we're working on this year that's a goal is like sort of like a content subscription style of email communication, so that the member can choose. Do they only want education? Do they only want social events? Do they only want, so they can choose to receive what they want instead of us just kind of throwing everything at them. So, which is really cool. You know, I mean, if you think about it, like if I want to talk with you, I'd be like, Sid, how is the best way for me to get a hold of you? Text, phone call, or email, right?
Correct.
Because I'm communicating in the way you need to be communicated with, not me. And so that's something that we're slowly moving towards for our members, because we want to do that. So talking about resources of what NAHREP has, I mean, NAHREP has amazing resources, but we don't do a good enough job getting them out there. We have a member guide, that talks about all the things that we have. I mean, I'm not sure that every member knows that they have free tech help at their fingertips and free legal help at their fingertips. It's literally a phone call away. You can call Florida Realtors with your membership at any time and ask any legal question you want, which is awesome. It's just a 407 number. Do you need tech help? They'll help you do anything tech-wise, which is amazing. And you're already paying for this with your membership. We have an amazing allied and affiliate guide that has your pretty picture in there, Sid. So if people are looking for a mortgage rep or a bug exterminator or a roofer or whatever, we have an entire guide built for that, so that NAHREP members can connect with others about any sort of vendors that they need. I literally can go on and on and on, but you hit the nail on the head. We don't do a good enough job, and it's something that we really need to work on.
And the other side of the coin as well, because we as the service providers and the members we have to do our side as well.
Right.
Because you can lead a horse to water, it doesn't mean they're going to drink it.
Yeah.
Okay. What we got to do is we have to be better about taking responsibility and taking accountability for the things that maybe we don't do right. Because sometimes it's just picking up the phone. I know we hate it. I know we want to send a text message to landlines. Doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. We got to just make the phone call. And again, it's going to make us better. It's going to make us better in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Again, you've spoken a lot about the resources and, again, things that maybe a lot of people don't even know about in your organization. I'd like to kind of segue into the partnerships that you guys create with other organizations. You and I had a little bit of a conversation about WCR and having a better understanding of how that structure works.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that, because that's a big relationship, and then we're going to segue into the new relationship that we would like to create between both of our organizations as well.
Absolutely. So throughout the years, there's a council called WCR, the Women's Council of Realtors, and they are a council within the National Association of Realtors. And WCR is an amazing powerhouse in the real estate space. I mean, it's just empowered real estate professionals, men and women, to really, through education and partnerships, and they do such an amazing job. So we've always had a great relationship with them, but we want to take it to the next level with them. We also partner with the Chamber, Collier County Chamber. NAHREP, whether people know this or not, NAHREP is the largest trade organization in Collier County. So we have a lot of pull. We partner at times with CBIA, which is Collier Building Industry Association. We partner with Collier County government on certain things. We partner with a lot of nonprofits. We really have a lot of strength in our numbers. And so we really want to elevate those partnerships.
And it's a big thing, because at the end of the day, if you're hoarding information, it really doesn't make anybody else better. I think that every single entity has their own resources. Mm-hmm. For us as an organization, as NAHREP, though we've been around for quite some time, I think that the real big growth has really happened in the last, I would say, eight years as a national organization. And the types of relationships that have been created within this last period have been huge. I mean, the connections that we currently have in DC, because there's a big attention to diversity. It's something that hasn't been talked about as much, but it's coming, or actually it's here. And for us to better understand how to navigate around it, we have to pull the resources together. And that's something that I know myself and the rest of the directors with NAHREP here locally have really been thankful to you guys, because that door, like you mentioned, NAHREP's resources here locally are huge and the pull is big. And the fact that you guys have opened the doors up to say, hey, we want to make this unison with synergy, with real synergy for real change is a big deal to us. And again, we're always thankful for that.
Absolutely. I mean, I have to give props to past President Lauren Mello. She started the conversation a year ago, but COVID, as it did, it took a big old chopping block to a lot of things. So we're just kind of moving forward with that. And Marty Mannion, our CEO, and Paula. I mean, Lord knows everybody knows Paula. They're really spearheading it this year. And, I literally just got a phone call this morning from a gentleman that I worked with, the Call Your Business Youth Group. And he said to me, Corey, I want to work together with you on a white paper on diversity, which is just awesome. I mean, that stuff just makes me so happy. So it's just really timely that all these resources are coming together. So it makes me happy.
It is, and there's examples all across the board, and I do need to give a shout out to Bear as well, because I have personal affiliations with Bonita Estera Realtors and what they have done to again bring everyone together with the focus on the diversity sector. Because listen, I think it was still a taboo topic, but I only think it was taboo because people just didn't know how to navigate it. It was kind of foreign to them, not to use that word, but it was foreign to them. Yeah. But again, what you guys are doing is huge. I mean, just to kind of give a quick story, Lauren Mello, when she was being elected, going into and transitioning as president, her and I actually had a conversation. She came to my office. We sat down. She goes, I need you to be completely honest. I'm not going to go into all the honesty stuff, but the fact that she sat down, took the moment and time to sit and just listen is a big thing. And I feel that you, Marty, Nick, Adam, all the rest of the directors that I've had personal conversations with have just been like that. They've sat down with a pen and paper and just wanted to listen. And that alone is going to take you guys to the next level. And it's going to take this area to the next level, because many people don't understand this, but most first-time home buyers, I think the number was 68 to 72% of first-time home buyers in this area in the next 5 years are going to be Latino.
Yep.
And if we're not best set up, or if we don't have the resources set up for those professionals to do their job, whether you speak Spanish or not, right, you're going to be missing the boat. And that's a really bad term, but I'm Cuban, I can get away with it. But you're going to be missing the boat on your business. I mean, dead serious, because the truth of the matter is that we all care about our businesses, but we need to care about the community. And we're only as good as our weakest link. If we put focuses in the areas that maybe need a little bit extra education, the places like Immokalee, your places like the Estates, Golden Gate City, Lely, there are people who are hard workers. They save money, and all they need is a little bit of a push and a little bit of education, and they'll give you everything. They'll give you the sweaters off their back, even though we don't wear sweaters in Southwest Florida. So, we've had some really cool conversations lately in the last couple of years, and I know that there's a vision now for diversity, and you guys really immersing yourselves more. What are things that NAHREP is rolling out to really better focus on the education side of diversity?
Sure. So this is obviously an ever-evolving topic. So, actually just a few days ago, I was chatting with Marcia at NAHREP, and we were talking about what else can we do to support, other cultures in how they learn and how they read. So we're going to be putting the market report the NAHREP market report is going to be in other languages. So that way it's for all professionals, not just those that speak English. We're going to be submitting it to different publications that are in other languages as well, which is really exciting. So we're really kind of peeling the onion back and saying, what have we only been doing in this space for a while? And we're going to say, okay, well, this needs to be kind of revised and brought in a different way. So, I mean, ideas are popping left and right on how we can support not only our members, but also the community as a whole. So really stay tuned. It's going to be really exciting.
See, that's awesome to hear, because, listen, the truth is that there are certain brokerages that actually don't even want to get involved in certain things because of the fact of the linguistic side of it. Granted, listen, we live in the United States of America, guys. English is very important, but we obviously know that there are professionals that do their job in Spanish because there's a necessity for it. But like I said, there needs to be that balance, and the fact that you guys are catering to both sides is big, because it really is inclusive. It's not exclusive. That inclusivity I think is huge for, again, growth here in this area.
Absolutely.
For NAHREP, when it comes to ideas, right? Let's say there's someone who has that idea. Maybe they've come from another area, and what they've seen is, hey, we had an organization that did X, Y, and Z, and they saw this transformation. Do you guys have that system where it's like, hey, send me an email or get in contact with so-and-so to have a sit down? It's like, these are the ideas to be brought to the table. Do you guys have a system like that currently in place for NAHREP?
We don't. As the president, every month I write a president's message, and generally the last line every month is, this is how you get a hold of me. So, at any time you can literally Google me. My cell phone's out there. My email address is out there. I want people to call me and tell me the good, the bad, the ugly about their experience, about what they want. I can't guarantee that everything's going to get done, but I will guarantee that I'll sit and I'll listen and we'll chat about it and we'll figure out a way to potentially make it better if we can. So that's really all I can do at this point.
Honestly, but that's the way it should be. Again, not everything that gets brought to the table makes sense for the area in which you work in or the organizations in which you're telling it to. That's just it. But again, if you can get a sit down with someone and they're listening, yep. I feel that alone allows them to think, hey, whether it's my idea or not, they're willing to listen. They're willing to be progressive, which I think is fantastic.
Absolutely. New
events that are coming up, things that may be coming up for NAHREP. I know that we have the Cinco de Mayo Fest, so I'm going to throw this up really quick. Oh, it worked! Don't mind the ghetto-ness, you guys. I know that I have the little thing of photos, but if I blow it up, it just looks absolutely terrible. So just bear with it, as I still have the name tapes under to block the rest of it. So tell us a little about how this event came to be and what you guys are expecting.
So we are so excited actually to have this event because this will be our first member appreciation night since September of 2019. So, I know, believe me, if I could raise my eyebrows from the Botox, I would, but I can't. No. Totally kidding. So I saw your eyebrow raise and I was like, oh, I wish I could do that. No, just kidding. So anywho, I am so excited about this event because it's outside, and who doesn't love food trucks? Who doesn't love, free drinks? It's just, I'm so excited that I hope that, we get an amazing turnout. So I'm really looking forward to it. We've got a lot of great things coming this summer. We're doing a lot of outside of the box ideas, which you just have to these days. We had the trunk or treat last year for Halloween, and we had more kids than I've ever seen come to an event. Like, I'm seriously starting to cry. You can't see, but I'm seriously starting to cry. Just think about it. We had like 300 kids come through, which was awesome. And that was during COVID. So we want different ideas on how to bring people together. Last week, I have to do this plug, Sid, sorry. Last week, NAHREP hosted a water cleanup day because obviously water quality is near and dear to my heart. We had 45 people sign up. We had 38 show up. I saw people that I had never met before at an event, and I literally just wanted to hug them because I was so excited. We cleaned up 150 pounds of trash off one road. I mean, stuff that you would never believe. Huge 5-gallon paint buckets. So it was awesome. And we're going to do more cleanups. We're going to have great events, education. So it's just stay tuned. It's such an amazing time right now.
Don't forget, guys, Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
It's going to be beverages and Botox. What more can you possibly ask for an event with NAHREP, okay?
I didn't say that. You did.
I'm just kidding. And I'm going to make this small little plug about this. So if you are a professional here in this area, and we all know we're all busy, if you are not taking time to give back to this community, it will remember that. At the end of the day, you're doing a service to people purchasing homes or selling homes, whatever it may be. But make sure that your heart and your time is still spent giving something back to the community. And it's not just monetary. Make sure you're taking time to get out there. Get your hands in the dirt. Because at the end of the day, the dirt's feeding us. We got to feed the dirt. If you don't do that, it'll crumble. I say it all the time, and the fact that you guys are continuing to do that, I am elated to hear that you guys are still doing these types of events. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge, huge, huge. Now we're looking forward to being there in Cinco de Mayo. We're also looking forward to doing some sort of diversity event. I know we're trying to get something off the ground for September. That's going to be in the works, guys. So for those that are really anxiously waiting, please be patient. But we are doing everything diligently because we want to put on a great event. Maybe some music. I've got a buddy of mine in Miami who does a massive cafetera, and he can do Cuban coffee out there. So I already told him to wait. I know. You made a facial expression. I wasn't expecting it because But, it's things like that. We want people to have fun because when you introduce people to a different culture, it's got to be the fun side of it. Now, button extenders are necessary. As you know, Latinos love carbohydrates. So understand that, you get a little inflated, but it's all for a good cause. It's all for a good cause. So we're looking forward to it. Is there anything that you have left, Corey, that you'd like to promote for NAHREP or anything else that may be coming up to be on the lookout for?
I just want to say that one of the things that we are going to do this year at NAHREP is overhaul our technology within the building, which is so important because, as you mentioned before, COVID kind of sped up this Zoom in-person hybrid that is happening. So we want to make sure that our members and the people that potentially use this space for events have the best experience necessary. So we're overhauling our technology in that building to make sure that it's amazing. So stay tuned and please be patient with us because that means that we're going to have some stuff ripped up for a while. But we promise we're going to come out better on the other side. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I am honestly super thankful that you chose me to be on today.
Well, listen, the fact that you said yes is great. And the fact that you have a sense of humor. See, this is the type of stuff that we love. We understand that this virtual stuff can be tasking at times. It's like, oh my God, again. But the fun aspect of it, because at the end of the day, we do have fun doing what we do. Because if not, we would drive ourselves crazy.
Yes.
But the fact that you brought that onto here, it's greatly appreciated. So thank you for that, Corey.
Absolutely.
And before I let you go, I have to say one thing. So I was trying to copy it as you were speaking a little bit earlier, because you had mentioned that NAR actually puts out, they put out their newsletter. And guess what NAR does? They actually give us a Spanish section. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to put it nice and large. Let me save this because it's all, I don't have a producer, guys. It's all done right here. It's a one-stop shop. So, guys, NAR actually puts out a newsletter and has a section that's in Spanish. And that's something we've never promoted. I learned that today from Miss Corey. So we're excited to promote that now. So if you want, copy that. If you want that information, we'll put that in the comment section directly in Facebook. But I want to thank Miss Corey McCloskey once again. You have been an amazing example of what leadership should be in the future as we dive into this diversity and wanting inclusivity. And I want to thank you again for your time, Corey.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I mean, I love you, Sandra, Marilyn, everyone on your team. So whatever we can do to support y'all, you just let me know. I'll be there.
Thank you so much. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull you off. I'm gonna kick you off the screen. I want you to just sit back, stay hang tight, so we can kind of have our little post-event conversation. But thank you again, Corey. Okay.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye. Well, guys, I want to thank you guys for being here again. The reason for these events, guys, obviously is to bring value to your lives, value to your businesses. And it's also to obviously promote our local chapter. One of the best ways to do that, guys, is obviously becoming a member. Here at NAHREP, all we focus on is a sustainable home ownership for the Latino community. And how do we do that? By education to those who touch the community, those service providers, the mortgage lenders, the insurance people, the realtors. By better understanding this culture, it allows you to not only open up your playbook and add some extra pages to how to tackle this industry, it'll just make you a better person. So we look forward to having new members come on. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to myself, Sid Fernandez on Facebook, or any of the other directors, whether it's Maria Zavala, my VP, Marilyn Saenz, Lisette Franco, Yanel Valdez, and the rest of the team here at NAHREP Naples. We want you guys to be a part of this familia, and I promise you, this familia leaves their hands and their arms wide open, just like Silk Sonic, leave the door wide open for you guys, right? So, guys, thank you guys again. And actually, I need to do a plug before I let go. Again, our chapters do not run without partnerships. And one of the biggest partners that we've had this year who actually jumped on for the first time as an annual sponsor is Security Title and Abstract. These ladies are killing it right now in the game, and we want you guys to reach out to them. So if you guys have any questions on who to reach out with Security Title and Abstract, please feel free to reach out to me, as well as, I think I have them up here. Boom, look at that, technology. So guys, look below. Please send an email if you guys have any questions to them. If you need any answers to the title business, reach out to them because they're killing it, guys. Thank you guys so much again. Have a wonderful day. Nosotros somos. Take care, guys.